Hey everyone, it's me Joji, and today we're going to be taking a look at the other League Battle Deck that came out. Now this one is the Reshiram and Charizard deck. Now, I think after looking at the PikaRom that this may be the better deck to get if you're a player. Now I say that because PikaRom is very dependent currently on a lot of cards that you didn't see in that League Battle deck, like Zeraora, Thunder Mountain, and I believe Volkner. They're all getting rotated out in August. And ReshiZard here, on the other hand, has a bunch of cards that are still going to be sticking around, like Welder, Giant Hearth, and Volcanion. So we're going to take a closer look, and maybe this is definitely the better deck to get if you're a player. But yeah, I don't know as a collector. I think as a collector you probably still want to get these Charizard cards, and maybe the nice looking Charizard box here as a bonus. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. So here's the deck, and there's not much to say about the packaging. I mean, it's just like the other one, except it's ReshiZard. You can see the list there, and we'll take a closer look at all the cards in a bit. But yeah, you do get the two Reshiram Charizard cards and a Charizard and Braixen card, so that's not bad. As I said, I think this might be the better deck because we're losing a lot of stuff for PikaRom, well, current meta PikaRom decks, as opposed to this one, which isn't really losing a lot. I think that's all that's in the back there. TCG rulebook, which if you're new to it, definitely helps, or if you just need to get brushed up on some of the new stuff. Let's get this opened up here. Alright, so we do have this nice Charizard and Braixen card. I believe it's from Unified Minds. Not a bad card. Definitely good for collectors and players. I myself never really used this one in a ReshiZard deck. I used it maybe as a filler when I needed to, but Brilliant Flame is not bad of an ability to use or attack. But usually you're going to want to use the Reshiram and Charizard. This is gonna definitely be your bread and butter when it comes to attacking. For 230, for 4 energy, you do 230 damage. But the caveat is you can't attack the next turn with it. But you do have Outrage, which does more damage based off of how much damage it's currently taken. Then you also have Double Blaze GX, which honestly, it's great when it comes to things like when there used to be a lot of Keldeos running around. Double Blaze was the only way to get through it because of its dumb ability to prevent damage from, I think, GX Pokemon. So these are definitely good to have. Let's see what else was in here before we take a deep dive into the deck. We have some nice dice here. I don't know what color that is. I think it might be just a white on... I don't think it's an exact white. It might be a different type of white. With orange, I would have preferred just white and orange, but this is some weird like off-white dice. I don't know about that. And then we have the same thing as the other packaging. The GX counter and the poison and burn counters on the back there. And, of course, here's the deck box. It says Reshiram Charizard GX there. League Battle Deck. And Reshiram and Charizard again. Yeah, nice little deck box. We'll take a look what's in here in a second. Here is that code card for you guys. Have fun with that deck. And if you can, I'd suggest maybe picking this up at the store. This did cost, I believe, $25 when I purchased it. I don't know if it's going to go up because of other sellers maybe selling the stuff on the aftermarket, but keep in mind it might sell out soon, so definitely go get it. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the cards. So guys, I organized these cards based off Pokemon supporters, and then just clumped together trainers, tools, and stadiums all at the last one. But we're going to take a look at the Pokemon first. And as we saw earlier, we are getting 2 of these Reshiram and Charizards. Now, as I said earlier, this is going to be the card you're attacking with, and you're going to see why we have so little Pokemon in this deck, and it's because you really don't need them when it comes to this deck. It's really revolving around these 2 cards here. That's it, pretty much. So we got the 2 Reshiram and Charizards. We also have that Charizard and Braixen, and as we said, the Brilliant Flame. It's going to be more of an attack that has more of a utility to it, where you're just going to use it to get other cards you want later on into your hand. Then we have some of the oddest looking holo I've ever seen on a card. I don't know if it's a misprint or what, but these are normal non-holo Volcanions, right? So you're getting 4 of these in total, and you get one that's a holo. But take a look at that holo. Even the bottom of it and the top are glossy. You can kind of see it there. And I have another one for comparison. This is a regular one that you would get from Unbroken Bonds. Not as glossy. Only the picture is glossy. This thing, if you look at it in person, the whole thing is covered with a gloss. So I'm thinking this is a misprint, but if anyone else has opened up one of these League Battle decks and has gotten this thing just as glossy, let me know down in the comments, because I don't know, this might be a misprint or something. But yeah, really interesting. They did the same thing when it came to I forget what they were called, but the one with Ultra Necrozma and Rayquaza, the same thing happened with those energies. They were really oddly hollowed, so. But yeah, you're getting these 3 plus the holo one. This thing, again, just utility really for that Flare starter. So you always want to go second with this deck. That's something that's very important, especially right now, because if you go first, you can't play a supporter card. But if you go second, you can also use this guy to attack with Flare Starter and attach energies onto your ReshiZards. So that's why you're kind of given only these Pokemon, because again, all this is for ReshiZard. ReshiZard is your main attacker and pretty much just the highlight of this deck. This is what you're going to want to use, just ReshiZard. That's all you need. You could add in Pokemon like Victini V or Torkoal V into this deck, just to, I guess, augment it, but as it is, these are really the only attackers that need to be in a ReshiZard deck. Now let's move on to some of the supporter cards. Let's take a quick push of these here so we have a little bit of space underneath them. We have 4 Welder, another necessary card, I guess, in this deck, and really the one card you're going to want to always play if possible. Welder. Attach those 2 energies to your ReshiZard. Again, ReshiZard's the card that you're going to want to be putting all your energy onto. And then you draw 2 cards. This card is pretty much broken in my opinion, but it's an awesome card nonetheless. We get 4 of those, and then we also have 4 Green's Explorations. Now, this is for pulling Pokemon onto your, or not Pokemon, items and things you're going to need later on, or for that turn, really. So you can pull Quick Balls, Tag Calls, a bunch of other things. If you want another Welder instead, you can use this Greens. But keep in mind, you can't use this card if you add any Pokemon with abilities into this deck. So that's one of the things. There is a ReshiZard deck, but I think it's slightly more inferior to the ReshiZard, and I guess this makes it a lot more simple for this deck, having just use Pokemon that don't have abilities. We also have 3 copies of Professor's Research. You're going to want to use this to help you discard items if you need to, or just help you draw a lot faster. It's pretty much a necessary card nowadays. Then we have 2 Cynthias and 2 Malalanas. Cynthia, really, I'm pretty sure is just for the welders. You don't want to really pull Professor's Research, or maybe if you want to, a Greens. But the Malalana is just to make sure that your ReshiZards don't get knocked out too easily. You want to keep your Pokemon healed, so that's one of the ways to do it. Alright, so now let's take a look at the supporter cards. I'm going to go through these fairly quickly because we've seen a lot of these in the other deck. But here are the Pokegears. This is obviously to get more Welders and Greens if necessary. Then we have only 3 copies of Pokemon Catcher, which I think is okay. But keep in mind, if you're playing this before rotation, maybe switch these out for customs. Then we have an odd number of Quick Ball. We only have 3. I would suggest maybe if you wanted to, you can take out a Pokemon catcher or maybe a different item for another Quick Ball. Because you want to have ways to pull maybe one of these two if you can't find a tag call. Now we also have 3 copies of Switch. 3 is fine just because we have the Mallow and Lanas in there as well. We have 2 copies of Fire Crystal, so maybe if you add a 3rd one, you don't have to worry about discarding so many energies, which is what you're going to want to discard if you have these guys in hand. We have 2 copies of Tag Call, of course, to grab both the Mallow and Lanas and then these tag team Pokemon. We're running out of space here, so give me one quick second.
A few moments later.
Okay, I think this might be enough space. Let's finish off what we have for items with reset stamps. You could probably replace one of these with one of the other cards I mentioned, like the Quick Balls with Fire Crystals. You usually only want to use this when they have a low count, not multiple times, so that's fine. We also have 2 copies of Great Potion. One of the reasons why we only run 2 Mallows and Lanas. If you wanted to, you could replace a Mallow and because you have 2 of these already. Keep in mind you can only use these for GX Pokemon, so if you try and use this on Volcanion, that's a no-go. We have 1 copy of Energy Spinner, which is enough, honestly. Again, you want to use this on your first, or sorry, if you're going second, your first turn, because you can get 3 energies instead of just 1, so that's really helpful. And then we have our 2 Giant Hearts, which is our main stadium. Unfortunately, one of the stadiums that used to be very important in ReshiZard, which is Heat Factory, is getting rotated out, but we still have Giant Hearts. I suggest maybe, if you can, add in maybe a, what is it called? A Chaotic Swell, just to avoid, or maybe a Power Plant if you want to stop Mew boxes or something like that. But yeah. We also end up with 2 Vitality Bands. I don't know why we really need Vitality Bands. ReshiZard already does 230 damage, maybe 240, just so it can knock out PikaRoms and other things with 240, but 230 is enough most cases, but I guess it's for the extra push for Pokemon that have 240. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't really have another spot for this, so just in this corner. Oh, and of course we come with energies. We have a total of 12 energies. I think 11's a better number if you want to replace one of these guys with some item or maybe a Pokemon. But yeah, that is pretty much the deck. Honestly, this deck is definitely better than the PikaRom one post-rotation. Now, pre-rotation, this is okay. There's a lot more ways you can make PikaRom better than this guy, but this has a lot of consistency, honestly. ReshiZard decks are about, I guess, simplicity. There's not much to it. There's 7 Pokemon, they're all focused on helping this guy out, and pretty much everything else in this deck is focused, again, on ReshiZard. ReshiZard is your main bread and butter for this deck. This guy is going to always attack for you, so it's just about simplicity. This deck, if you're gonna buy this, don't expect too much, like, excitement, I guess. I mean, it's still exciting to play with, but I guess don't expect it to kind of work out of its rhythm. There's a rhythm to it where it's you play for ReshiZard, you play for ReshiZard. You're gonna play for ReshiZard. That's what you're playing for. PikaRom, on the other hand, you could play for a loaded Raichu, and PikaRom itself. But again, this guy's not that great. This is rarely what you're going to want to be attacking with. So guys, let me know down in the comments, both as a collector and a player, which one do you think is better to play with or collect? The PikaRom or the ReshiZard? As a player, I think this ReshiZard is definitely the better choice if you're going to plan on playing post-rotation in August, but if you're going to play a lot in pre-rotation, I'd probably go with the PikaRom and then give it a good try with this guy. But that's my own opinion, and I'd like to hear you guys give your opinions as well. So, we finally come to the part of the video where we're going to talk about our giveaway that we have going on for the Suicune Toxtricity V, Pidgeot EX, and a Raikou coin. Now let's see who's going to win today. So we've got our wheel here, and we have all the names of the people that have entered in the previous video. Thank you guys a lot for entering, and hopefully we can get to 400 soon so we can do our 400 subscriber giveaway, where I'll show you in a second what we're going to be giving away. And it's a lot of awesome cards related to something we opened today. Alright, let's spin this wheel and see who's going to win today. It is Epic Gamer. Epic Gamer, you just won an epic prize. You've got these 3 cards and a coin. Congratulations. Now, for you to, I guess, get your info to me, the best way is probably through Instagram or Twitter. But yeah, just contact me with your address and I'll verify it's you, and we'll get you sent this stuff out. So when we get to 400 subscribers, we're going to be giving away a bunch of Charizards. Now if we don't make it to 400 by the next giveaway, I'll do some other stuff, but I want to really save these for a special occasion, so I think 400 is a good number. Anyways guys, hopefully you did enjoy this video. If you did, again, hit subscribe and ring that bell so you can get more updates on Pokemon and more Pokemon giveaways. And as always, thanks for watching.